I'm looking over here.
Welcome in to the 2023 Banana Ball World Tour, loved by Zappos. The greatest show in sports has arrived in Portland, Maine for another special presentation on NESN. Over 75 games spanning 29 cities have turned our young sport into a viral sensation. Played by former Major League All-Stars and World Series champions like Jake Peavy, Johnny Damon, Hunter Pence, and many more. Lightning-fast innings, dazzling dance moves, and mind-boggling trick plays are all to be expected here tonight. Now, let's get into the 10 rules that make Banana Ball the most exciting fan experience in all of sports. The core of Banana Ball is that every inning counts. If you win an inning, you get a point, and in the final inning, every run counts as a point. There will be 9 innings tonight or a 2-hour time limit, whichever comes first. Unless we are tied, which will force a one-on-one showdown tiebreaker, one hitter versus one pitcher with one fielder. There is no bunting. If you attempt to bunt, you will be ejected. There are no mound visits, and you cannot step out of the batter's box. If you leave the box, a strike will be called. There are no walks in Banana Ball. Ball 4 is a sprint, where the hitter and base runners take as many bags as they can until the 7 fielders behind the pitcher and catcher touch the ball, making it live again. You can steal first base on a pass ball or wild pitch. Both teams get a challenge that can be used on fair or foul balls, a force or tag play, or to see if the ball was caught or not. The challenge is reviewed by us in the broadcast booth and given down to the umpires. And for the first time in the history of professional sports, the fans get a challenge as well. There will be a fan representative who has to weigh the thoughts of their fellow fans and their own opinion on if the challenge should be used on any given play. And finally, the most fans first rule of them all: if a foul ball is caught by a fan, it is an out. And those are the 10 rules of Banana Ball. The great folks of Portland, Maine are fired up for their second Banana Ball game in as many nights. And boy, oh boy, those Nanners ready to rumble as well. Reggie Horton, the hardest working man in sports, got them going just a moment ago.
Gentlemen, Jenna Gato.
Reggie is truly the best in the biz. I am alongside the second best in the biz, Mr. Josh Chalevsky. I am Biko Scala. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday night with the second ever Banana Ball game broadcast on NESN and on NESN 360 and YouTube last night. Boy, oh boy, what a doozy of a first ever Banana Ball game here in the great state of Maine.
It feels like we're going to see another offensive explosion between the Bananas and the Party Animals after 4 home runs were hit and 23 total runs were scored between the two teams. In the end, it was the Bananas coming away with a 5-4 win, and we even saw Alex Ziegler, the Bananas bat trickster, who got a base hit with his bat still on fire. I mean, I have no idea what is in store for tonight's ball game.
It was a mind-boggling showing from both sides from start to finish. Let's take a look at how the Bananas will line up defensively as they are 1 win away from taking the incredible Pine Tree State. And the Party Animals trying to grab a win and split the battle here in Maine. When you look at the Nanners defensively. Josh, who stands out here?
Well, Ryan Cox, he had 3 straight games with a trick play before last night's game. Now that was snapped, but he still recorded a trick play, and it was D.R. Meadows who had the show-stopping moment of the night with the bases loaded. He caught a backflip catch with 2 outs and got the Bananas out of the inning, keeping the Party Animals off the board. Unbelievable moment as these guys are slowly creeping their way towards 300 total trick plays as a team.
Boy, and we were lucky to have the great pre- and post-game host from NESN, Tom Karen, in the booth with us for the backflip catch from D.R. Meadows. Let's zoom in on the savvy southpaw on the mound for the Nanners, all 6 foot and 6 inches of the pride of Whitby, Canada, who was grabbed in the 12th round by the Toronto Blue Jays out of high school in 2012, and then 3 years later, after 3 seasons at Arizona State, the Chicago Cubs grabbed him in the 5th round. He spent 7 years in their organization, was in the Atlantic League a summer ago, and now faces a host of former Atlantic Leaguers for the Party Animals.
And he's making his 5th start of the season for the Bananas, and as a starter, he's got a 1-0 record across 19 innings pitched, a 4.74 earned run average, and his minutes per inning mark, he is getting through innings at an average of 4 minutes and 16 seconds. Really good stuff early on in his career.
Let's get a look at the Party Animals lineup that put up 16 of those 23 runs scored an evening ago here in Hadlock Field. And at the top, it's the best hitter on the tour, Reese Hampton, the switch-hitting center fielder, Dalton Cornett, the extra hitter, and Tanner Thomas, the right fielder, all due up here in the first. Bryson Bloomer at third will clean it up. Jake Skoll, the left fielder, behind him. And then it is Lytle, Swan, Vivacis, Baber, and Acuff. Here's Jesse Cole.
Banana Nation, it's time. So on 3, I need everyone here to yell, "Start the clock." 1, 2, 3. Showtime.
Time to wrap up this absolutely wonderful northeast leg of the tour that has taken us through New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and now the final of 2 games here in Maine. Reese Hampton, the switch hitter, will swing it from the right side. These two faced off a handful of times last summer when Hampton was a Gastonia honey hunter and Ryan Kellogg was a wild health genome. Reese pacing the tour with his .390 batting average, .457 on base percentage, and .664 slugging percentage. Really nothing more you could ask from Reese Lightning.
And he has left the yard in each of his last 2 games. Now, one was in showdowns, and the other was his 10th home run in regular play, in the regular 9 innings play, and he became the first Party Animal to double-digit home runs. As he chops this one in front of the mound, and the lefty Kellogg has a hard time gathering that one. It's Reese on early for the Party Animals.
Yeah, an infield single for the speedy center fielder. Both those home runs that Josh mentioned were from the left side. Swinging bunt there gets him aboard here to kick things off in the top of the first. Now Dalton Cornett, just like Hampton, leading off first base in his 2nd campaign as a Party Animal. After catching last night, he gets a half evening off as the extra hitter, hitting .340, a .405 on base percentage. He rolls that one over to second. Hosley to Cox, over to first, not in time for 2. But they will certainly trade Reese Hampton for DC3 on the base paths.
Yeah, Hosley was patient fielding that bounce off the infield dirt, and that is a huge fielder's choice for the Bananas as Reese, one of the fastest guys on that Party Animals roster. They're going to trade having Dalton Cornett, one of the slower guys, now on first base instead.
Yeah, you go from the stolen bases leader for the Bad Boys in Banana Land to Cornett, who will run, but 7 for 13 in his attempts. Tanner Thomas now, another man in his 2nd World Tour. Both of them have been for the boys in black and pink. After his first 2 years in Banana Land was as a collegiate Banana in 2018 and 19. He's hitting .307, a .361 on base percentage. And had 3 balls and no strikes. He has to look for 2-seam, 4-seam cut fastballs, a changeup slider, and a huge arching curveball from Ryan Kellogg.
And boy, he has gotten hot in the middle of this summer for the Party Animals. A 7-game on-base streak, and we saw last night a double and 2 triples for Tanner Thomas, the first 2-triple game of the tour.
That was in game 75. You now watch game 76. That is a rare sprint given up by Ryan Kellogg. Sloppy defense by the Bananas. They have a mistake in the infield, but they still get it to all 7 guys behind the pitcher and catcher quick enough to get Tanner Thomas in a rundown. And that is an enormous second out as Cornett stands at third base.
Yeah, just when you thought Ryan Kellogg might be in a bit of trouble with 2 runners on and only 1 out, it's Tanner Thomas who runs into an out because he saw the Bananas at first struggled with that sprint defense. And you've got to give credit to Danny Hosley and Eric Jones over there on the right side of the infield. They were still watching Dalton Cornett at third base as he could have possibly taken off and tried to score there for the Party Animals during that rundown.
Well, Kellogg is out of the frying pan, but into the fryer. Cleanup man for the Party Animals, Bryson Bloomer, launched one over the Maine Monster last night. Fans can't make a catch here. So the count 0-2 on the Party Animals third baseman, who's hitting .324, a .401 on base percentage. He's slugging .498. Really superb numbers for the Boomer in his first World Tour.
Yeah, and we've seen that power stroke continue. It's Bloomer with 2 home runs across 4 games here on this northeast leg of the tour.
Kellogg averages about 89 to 91 miles per hour on the fastball, according to TrackMan. That was a 70-mile-an-hour big old bender. He goes back to the heat. Fans get another chance to make a play, and they do! Bryson Bloomer fouls out to a fan. An immense catch to get Ryan Kellogg out of a jam.
It doesn't take very long for a fan to get in on the action and help the Bananas in this ball game. That is the 51st fan of this season to catch a foul ball for an out.
Unbelievable stuff from the great folks of Portland, Maine. Over 7,000 have teamed up to create the 275th straight sold-out Bananas crowd, and Kurt Kessler, as our young fan there, will bring him down on the field to celebrate him. Already on the field, Jesse Cole has a young contestant with his father for a timeless Bananas promotion that we call Pie Your Dad. He gets the option for some merch or to pie his dad, and he will take the latter. Very wise decision. We'll see if he does it again, but as we do so, let's get a gander at the Party Animals defensive alignment tonight. Mr. Talevsky, who should we be looking for here?
Of course, it is Dustin Baber leading the Party Animals with 70 trick plays, and he's recorded one in every game in August for the Party Animals. We've also got to note Reese Hampton with a trick play in each of his last 2 games, and his partner in crime and left, Jake Skoll, also caught a trick play and recorded the 200th trick play for the Party Animals on a team. We had some history for them last night.
3 pies for the price of 1 promotion. Well, Josh hits you with the data. And let's get a quick glimpse at Sean Fluke, the exterminator, in his second tour for the Party Animals, the pride of Hudson, Florida, out of the St. Pete area. He has been superb as a starting pitcher across 10 starts, 43 and 2/3 innings pitched, and a sparkling 3.09 ERA.
He has a 1.18 ERA plus on the season, showing that he's been an above-average pitcher on the tour. And you see the 3-minute and 47-second average minutes per inning mark. That is more than 20 seconds better than second place in terms of the best MPI mark amongst starters on this year's tour.
He's going to have to blank the Bananas to stave off our protagonist here from gaining the first point available. D.R. Meadows, one of the better hitters on the tour, coming off another 2-knock performance last night. The Bananas center fielder in his first World Tour made his Nanners debut as a collegiate player this past summer, helping Savannah grab their second championship in as many seasons. DR pacing the Nanners with a .371 batting average and .451 on base percentage here in 2023 as he bounces that to Dustin Baber, who goes between the legs for our first trick play of the night.
And just as we talked about in that defensive alignment graphic, it's Dustin Baber now grabbing his 71st trick play of the tour. And this is what you usually see from Baber, a little between the legs action, and you're also likely to see a bounce pass over to first base at times.
See if Michael Deeb can get it going here. He was last night's hero for the Nanners, a booming double just in front of the Maine Monster that won things in a 2-run 9th inning as he knocked in Noah Bridges, Vitamin D out of Davie, Florida, in his 3rd World Tour, and he is just oh so consistent. Hitting .320, a .389 on base percentage, slugging .461. As he's on top of that one, Baber attacks and bobbles, and it was going to be a tough play. What's the official scoring there, Josh Talevsky?
Got to go infield single for Michael Deeb. It only makes sense considering it will now extend a 7-game hit streak for the left fielder.
We are hitters scorekeepers here in Banana Ball. I agree with your decision. Malachi Mitchell immediately inserted as the pinch runner. He's the Bananas automatic runner. He's also in his 3rd World Tour and is pacing the season in stolen bases and runs scored. Dan Oberst in his 5th season as a Nanner, 2nd as a professional Banana Baller, hitting .352 with a .425 on base percentage. Both those 2nd on the team, only behind the doctor.
And let's not forget Malachi Mitchell over there on first made a little Banana Ball history himself, becoming the first player in World Tour history to score 80 runs or more, and he is still averaging over a run scored per game on the entirety of this 2023 tour.
See what pitch he tries to choose to take off on here. He loves to run. Son of Dennis Mitchell, former Olympic sprinter. There he goes, a cut and a miss from Oberst. Throw down is going to dribble into center. Reese Hampton backing it up to prevent Malachi from grabbing an extra bag there. But for now, he'll be content with his 68th stolen base in 74 tries.
It wasn't the outcome that Michael Deeb liked there, as he's hit Sean Fluke very well on this year's tour, batting above .400 against the righty. But at the very least, it's Malachi Mitchell who's still able to use that speed and get into scoring position here for Eric Jones, also riding a hot streak offensively for the Bananas.
Jonesy has the potential inning-winning run in scoring position. Obviously, great speed in Malachi Mitchell. EJ, the tour leader in homers in his 2nd campaign as a Banana here. Holding down first base tonight, grabbed his tour-leading 12th home run in an opposite field shot out to right center on a big 12-6 curveball from Jake Lialios. That's the best pitch that Sean Fluke employs. Jason Swan trying to end the inning would have been a really tough play. And another life here for Eric Jones Jr., who comes into this at-bat with 17 walk-offs.
And that's how you know Eric Jones Jr. is swinging the bat well. It's, as you referenced, that opposite field home run last night, and he's got 3 multi-hit games here in the month of August. So just continuing to swing that hot stick and see if he can poke this one somewhere in the outfield and score Flash the Kid.
Trackman had that last 12-6 curveball at 69 miles an hour. Now he goes after EJ with a fastball. The fans could make another play. No, they do not have the chance. It leaves the premises. And a 2-2 count with 2 outs. And the potential inning-winning run in scoring position for the former Seattle Mariners and Minnesota Twins minor leaguer. Fluky bobbing and weaving, dancing on the mound. And EJ able to hold off on the breaking ball in the dirt. So now a payoff pitch, and Fluke has to find the strike zone or else the Bananas will win the inning.
Yeah, and you had the feeling he was going to go to the 12-6 curveball there. He throws so many off-speed pitches. Now let's see if he goes back to the fastball, trying to get the strike, as this breaking ball is going to be fouled into the stands, and the party animals, will they be bailed out of the inning? They will! We've got fan catches for outs in each of the first 2 half innings in this ball game.
And both teams had runners in scoring position when the fans ended things. What a thrilling start tonight, too, here in Portland, Maine. The fans here with an inning in the books are already 1 foul ball caught away from tying the Banana Ball record. We'll see if they can do it in the 2nd. We'll be back after this. NESN's coverage of the Savannah Bananas is presented by Dunkin'. The Savannah Bananas run on Dunkin'. What a thrilling first inning. We mentioned it at the top of the show, but we had Tom Caron of NESN in the booth for a couple innings last night, and he noted the poor fielding percentage from the fans in his home state. Looks like he just came to the wrong banana ball game.
It kind of feels that way. These fans brought their gloves. We actually saw out in the plaza us doing some of our pregame shenanigans. They were fielding some of our hits pretty well, and boy, they are on pace to possibly set a new record for foul balls caught by fans tonight.
They need 2 more to break the record, 1 more to tie Montgomery, Alabama, and Staten Island, New York, for the record of 3 foul balls caught by fans in a single game. It's 5-6-7 for the Party Animals here in the top of the second. Jake Skoll, the 15th overall draft pick back in 2010, right out of high school, grew up in Woodstock, Georgia. Texas Rangers nabbed him. He spent 5 years in their organization, 2 more years in the New York Yankees minor league system, who were beat for the 2nd straight day today by those Red Sox, 8-1. They battered Garrett Cole. What's new? And I believe the Yankees have now lost 7 straight as Skoll going to try and turn this into a hustle double. He's in there. Reggie Liggins says the tag between the legs from Ryan Cox was a tad late. And for the time being, it is 21 doubles on the tour for Jake Skoll.
And I'm looking out here from the press box, and we do indeed have the fan challenge, as you saw all the people in the stands urging him to pop that confetti.
We didn't get a fan challenge last night, so it makes sense, as we've already doubled our foul balls caught by fan total, that we get a challenge in the 2nd inning. Zach Frangelo, the director of entertainment, and Vincent Chapman, our home plate umpire, will slap on the Riedel headsets. And let's take a look, the good folks in the control room in Savannah. And let's see the best looks we have at this tag at second base. And the fans here chanting out. What do you see down on the field?
Zach, I think we're going to have to rule inconclusive on this. He's safe.
Here we go.
Well, myself, Josh, Zach, and Vincent have disappointed over 7,000 of Maine's finest folk here on a Saturday night.
Yeah, and we actually had Jesse Cole out there in the stands getting the fans in on an out chant, only to be let down there. As you see these Party Animals after the double really going to celebrate with Jake Skoll.
Well, you saw the athleticism on display there for Scully, that after 7 years of minor league baseball allowed him to begin his college career and spend 4 years playing football at the University of Georgia. That is a superhuman who's in scoring position with nobody gone, and now Joe Lytle, the DH, one of the 3 catchers that the Party Animals employ, hitting .317, a .391 on base percentage, having a really terrific first World Tour.
And going back to Skoll, that's just where you see the great baseball IQ between these guys on our tour. Jake Skoll, seeing the Bananas outfield a little slow in getting to that ball, decided to try and hustle it in for a double, and boy, it paid off for him.
Bender just misses, 1-2 count on the Oklahoma City kid who grew up in the capital of the Sooner State and spent all 4 years of his college career playing for his dad, Keith. Started his professional career in 2018. Has been all over the Canadian American Association and the Frontier League. And the Atlantic Leaguer from a summer ago gets him swinging there.
And that's really been the only bugaboo for Joe Lytle, especially recently. That's now his 4th strikeout across his last 5th starts. But when he's put the ball in play, they have been falling for hits for him.
That is the big curveball that comes in there for ball 1. Jason Swan is going to flip from the right side to the left batter's box. First baseman comes to Banana Land after 5 years of college ball at Georgia Southern, just up the road from Savannah in Statesboro. And shanks that one. Fans with another chance, and that one is not caught. A golden opportunity to tie the single game record for foul balls caught by fans.
Just kind of clanged off that fan's hands, and you saw a premature celebration from a lot of the folks around that guy, as they already have the hands in the air celebrating what would have been a tying record.
Skoloff for third. He has to retreat as on the track, Noah Bridges able to haul in the towering fly ball. The throw into second on the fly, but a tad off line. So Skol able to avoid the double play, and Mike Vivacis will get to swing it with 2 down. Shark letting the good folks here in vacation land know that Vava is their donut hitter. If he strikes out, then they will all be gifted free donuts thanks to Duncan. Skol still out on second base. Vava the catcher and head coach of this team in his 3rd year as a party animal. Another deep drive to right. Noah Bridges once again under it. He'll bat it up in the air and make a basket catch. 14th trick play of the tour for Noah Bridges as Ryan Kellogg bends but does not break.
And that gets Ryan Kellogg out of the inning in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. That minutes per inning mark is excluding the challenge play we saw from the fans. A great mark from Ryan Kellogg as the party animals remain scoreless.
Another look at the Noah Bridges trick play as the Nanners can get the first point of the game with just 1 run in the bottom of the second. Welcome back to Banana Land. The second banana ball game ever broadcast on NESN is game 76 of our 2023 World Tour, loved by Zappos. The Bananas 42-28-2 overall, 31-25-2 against the Party Animals. Their 6-game advantage tied for their best record against their arch rivals on the tour thus far. They were also 6 games better than the Party Animals after they won the first banana ball game broadcast on NESN, which was Monday night out of Hartford, Connecticut.
And as we approach the bottom of the second here, this is an inning that we've seen be very advantageous to the Bananas as this tour has progressed. They're batting .327 in the second compared to the Party Animals mark of just .259. So it feels like the Bananas could very well jump out to that 1-point advantage here in this inning.
And as Dakota McFadden in the 5-hole with Bill Leroy behind him and Ryan Cox after that leads off this inning, 2-0 count. Looks like we have a surprise here. D-Mac gonna pop it right side. Let's check in with Sean Fluke.
Easy.
Out number 1, Flukey. How you living tonight?
We're back, baby. We're back. We are living good.
Well, heck of a job there retiring Dakota McFadden. What's the plan against Bill Leroy?
Bill Leroy, let's get him into 2 strikes and he makes a bad swing, just not trying to strike it. Calling by a little rollover outside here.
Bill, one of the tougher guys to strike out in Banana Land. This is his 6th season as a Nanner. 21 ball 4 sprints compared to 14 strikeouts, the 2nd best ratio on the tour.
Hey, I have a request. Whenever we're mic'd up, you guys can talk about how good the other team's doing in the innings that I'm pitching it.
All right, sounds good, Flukey.
Oh, that's gross. Oh my God, look at this. Oh! Hey, good try, babe. Atta boy.
Chase Haycuff almost with an incredible play there. You didn't love the location on that first pitch to Bill.
A little frisbee floater. He was all over it. Meet me in the trail.
Well, a very similar at bat for you here, Fluky. Cox only 14 strikeouts compared to 15 sprints on the tour.
I want a little double play here. A little here inside, 80 degrees.
3 guys on the right side of the infield for you.
Oh my God, that's so hard. Please go foul. Oh, jeez.
Just a loud strike.
Hey, do some push-ups. Push-ups. Yeah, get a couple. I'll hit him with you. There you go. Hit him, boy. I can only do 2 though. I'll be tired after that.
Nothing like stacking the odds against you.
I know. That was gas, dude. All right, let's go all over the heater. God, the boys will shift so much. Still a little dirty, dude. Yep, we start thinking about it. Catch it! Oh my goodness, not with your face. Boy. Boomer! Be right here!
You got him out 2 now, Fluke.
Oh. Don't tell me to do it, I'll do it. I ate all the popcorn last inning. Well, oh, high heat. All right, Baba. I don't like it, but we're gonna do it. Oh, jeez.
It's a good setup pitch. You're still in the driver's seat here, Mr. Exterminator.
Oh, 0-2. Curveball. Look, Baba's already all over it. It's crazy. Oh, got him. Whoa! Ooh, Bill. You need a big lead. You're not that fast. Oh, yeah, dirty dudes. He's probably going to steal. Oh, spike it. Oh, get in the dirt, Fluke. Come on. What are you doing? I want that one. It's got good laces. There we go. I'll test the rub job.
Yeah.
Test it. It's a
This is why we slapped a mic on you, Fluky.
The boys in yellow. Give me the changeup, even though it's been, oh my God, me and Bob are the same brain. Boomer, I said right there. Right there. Hey! Boomer, ball! Jeez, there goes my voice. We gotta stop shifting on him. We gotta stay home.
Yeah, Ryan Cox uses every part of the field just about as good as anybody.
And then we won't Olsen. It's like, this makes no sense. We're 60 games out by now.
That is Ryan Cox's 19th hit to the opposite field this season, Fluky.
Oh, I knew you guys had it.
And now Danny Hosley.
God.
It's okay, Fluke. It's only the tour leader in walk-offs with 25.
Come on, Vico. Come on. Oh, come on. I'm going to get down the middle and see what he does with it. This is a free one for Hosley. No, no. Oh, yeah, right down the middle. Put it on a tee. Come on. Hosley, that was on a tee. Gotta do better than that.
Got yourself a strike, Fluke.
Finally, it took a while. You're not stealing third, Bill. I know he wants to so bad. Little slide piece. No, you're not going. Yep. Oh, yeah, Boomer. Oh.
Hey, way to battle back here, Sean.
Oh, yeah.
Fluky, even when you do not have a microphone on you, how often do you find yourselves talking with the guys on the base pass for the Bananas?
Every time. When you don't throw very hard, you got to try to get in their head. Look, shake, shake. No. Yeah, let's go. Oh, my God. That's foul ball. Fair.
Sean Fluke, thank you so much, my dear friend.
I don't want to do this. I lose every time.
Hey, we'll have a mic on you next time you start.
We'll see you next time.
There goes the Exterminator as Danny Hosley picks up his tour-leading 26th walk-off, and the Nanners are up by a point, 2 innings into the ballgame. Boy, Sean Fluke, nobody better to get a mic on him, whether it ends up swell or not for the guy.
Look, he's got the nickname The Exterminator, but I think we've got to go with The Entertainer or something along those lines. You never know what you're going to get out of him when you slap a mic on, but I can guarantee you one thing. There's always energy.
Couldn't agree more. Nanners up by a point, 2 innings in the books, 7 to go. It's only going to get wilder from here.
Open arms. Amen. 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 Come on.
Firing the fellas up before their ball game tonight is a big reason why the Bananas won back-to-back Pettit Cups in 2021 and 2022. And he keeps both the Bananas and Party Animals up to task here on his second World Tour.
Look, I think it's worth saying that he keeps some of the broadcast boys in check, too. I've had a couple interactions with Reggie today, and I'll tell you what, I have felt especially tapped in for this last game of the Northeast leg of the tour.
He always holds us accountable, make sure we're locked in, tapped in, and holding ourselves to a higher standard. Everybody doing an Irish jig as Dustin Baber leads the charge. It's going to be 9-10, and then the top of the order for the Party Animals here in the top of the third inning. Their second baseman in his first World Tour, who made his Bananaland debut a year ago in the Summer Series. In fact, it was a year ago to the day on the Nanners and Party Animals ESPN2 debut that Baber first held down second base and showed us all he can do with that magical glove.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good stuff with the bat from Baber as we've got Ryan Cox going behind the mound here, and we've got a Canadian who's about to shoot the banana ball like a hockey puck.
Ryan Kellogg just a bit outside, and he is going to discard. No, he's going to try it again. Okay, the 1-2 pitch. Oh, he'll throw it. It's lifted out to left center. DR Meadows there. He's going to backflip and make the catch. One of the wildest plays from start to finish you'll see in your life.
37 trick plays now on the season for DR Meadows, and back-to-back games with a backflip catch. You saw one with the bases loaded last night, and now DR, he's going to finish off the hockey shot with a beautiful catch.
Boy, Kellogg hasn't actually laced up the skates and played hockey since his youth. He's been baseball only since high school. And boy, oh boy, he has not lost a step. Really nifty work with the hockey stick, and now with a 1-0 count, he shows off how a 6'6" southpaw can boogie. Hosley, Cox, and Meadows backing him up, and he's behind Chase Acuff, 2 balls, no strikes.
Look, I wouldn't say he's lost a step with his moves out there on the mound either.
That ball cranked to left. Michael Deeb in pursuit will have to play it off the base of the wall. Fires it into second. Acuff trying to grab 2 bases, and he will have it. His 17th double on the tour. And the Party Animals, for the 3rd straight inning, have a runner in scoring position.
And Chase Acuff at the bottom of this Party Animals order continues to be a double machine. He is 3rd on the Party Animals with 17 doubles on this tour. And that was a big knock despite Deeb playing it off the wall about as good as he could have there.
At the top of the order, Reese Hampton coming up to the dish with the assistance of some of his fellow party animals and lobsters in their hands. Makes sense, as we are in the home of the lobster roll, one of the tastiest treats you could ever dream of.
That was really good.
Hampton led off the ball game with a single, ended up being erased off the bases on a fielder's choice, and cuts and misses at the first pitch changeup. Kellogg with 7 years of minor league baseball experience in the Chicago Cubs organization. Hampton in the right-handed batter's box with 3 years as the Detroit Tigers minor leaguer and 1 more as an Arizona Diamondbacks farmhand.
And that was a great pitch by Ryan Kellogg, going fastball in on the hands of Reese Hampton, getting him to foul it off. And Reese, the tour leader in batting average with runners in scoring position, batting .422 in those situations. For Kellogg to get ahead 0-2 and now 1-2, big in this at-bat against the party animal switch hitter.
Now a 2-2 count with Acuff leading off second. These are two guys who are certainly no strangers to the Northeast. Both of them played in the Cape Cod League throughout their collegiate careers, and that is a really well-executed breaking ball from Kellogg for out number 2.
Yeah, great pitch by Ryan Kellogg. Continued to set up that curveball there that he could drop in on Reese Hampton. And now he's got the advantageous lefty-lefty matchup here with Dalton Cornett in the box.
Both of them Wild Health genomes in the Atlantic League last summer. In fact, they were even roommates on all the road trips. So Cornett and Kellogg know each other just about as well as any two players in Banana Land. Kellogg won round 1, inducing the 4-6 fielder's choice from Cornett. Now a 1-1 count on the party animals EH. Acuff with the 1-out double off the Maine monster, still leads off second. Now a 1-1. And you get 2 balls and a strike.
What people may not know about Dalton Cornett wearing the number 3, that 3 probably stands for 3-hit games. We saw a 3-hit game last night for Cornett, and he has 8 on this year's World Tour.
Cranks that one out to left center. Michael Deeb trying to make a heck of a play. He will grab it on the run, avoiding D.R. Meadows, who hits the ground. And Kellogg escapes danger once again. He has stranded 3 party animals in scoring position and has not allowed a run through 3 innings on the bump. Now let's get it down to Jesse Cole for a brand new promotion we are calling Wet Your Pants. Jesse, you can take it over.
I've got Dylan Porter over here. He's going to be throwing to Keith over on the first base dugout.
And I got him throwing to Dom. They're throwing water balloons, and the name of this promotion is called Wet Your Pants. So the key is whoever gets the most water balloons in their pants wins. On your mark, get set, go.
Here we go. Oh, there's one.
We're at nothing here. Oh, here we go, Dom.
That's 2. That's 3.
I'm sorry. All right. All right.
That's 4.
We're at it. All right. We're still at 0 here. This is exactly how we... There's 1 right there. Here we go.
7.
We're at 1 over here. Oh, all right, count 2. Here it comes. Oh, no.
9.
3. Oh, jeez.
We got 10.
We've got 15 seconds. God, Connor, throw it further. Connor.
11.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more water balloons. All right.
Wow.
All right. How many did you have over there?
Jesse Cole, we got a count of 12 over here.
And we had 6 over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner Wet My Pants. Give it up for Keith with Dylan Porter for 12.
Now batting number 8, Jackson Olsen.
Well, that's a keeper in my book. Bizarre one, but I enjoyed it.
I love it. That is what Banana Land is all about. Just throwing out some ideas, seeing if they stick. That one's a winner for me.
Correct. And just like Billy Madison, wetting our pants. That is a big theme of Banana Land. Just like it was for the Party Animals in the top of the third, the Nanners bring 9-10 in one. 9-10 and one, rather, of their order. Jackson Olsen, Noah Bridges, and then D.R. Meadows at the top. Olsen, a New Englander out of New Milford, Connecticut. Spent the first 4 years of his collegiate career at the University of Hartford. Finished up with 1 season at Stetson University down in DeLand, Florida. He's our TikTok superstar, north of 1.5 million followers on the talk. But he is not a one-trick pony. In fact, he lasted his 5th homer of the tour last night, a 2-run walk-off shot to win the 5th inning.
And he's got walk-offs in back-to-back contests for the Bananas, and he's still batting .329 on the season. Jackson and I were talking a little bit after last night's contest. He says he's feeling really good about his swing since coming back from an injury when he was hit in the face on a pickoff attempt back at second in Kannapolis in mid-July. He says for him, it's all about just continuing to feel more and more comfortable, both in the box, in the field, and on the base paths.
Clings that one off the Maine Celtics building, formerly the Maine Red Claws of the G League. And now a payoff pitch to our greatest showman. Backdoor bender just misses. First sprint given up by Sean Fluke tonight. The Party Animals get it around all 4 infielders awful quickly, and Olsen not going to test their sprint defense as the 3 outfielders would have been waiting for a dead duck at second base.
Yeah, we have continued to see the Party Animal sprint defense improve dramatically across the northeast leg of this tour, and the outfielders just with this uncanny ability to crash in incredibly fast. As how about this, Jackson Olsen will be lifted for a pinch runner, and it's the Bananas starting pitcher Kyle Lewicks who's getting brought in to run.
Yeah, he was last night's starter for the Nanners. We'll have him in the broadcast booth in a couple innings, and we will chat about whatever occurs on this voyage around the base paths. Jackson cleared to hit and play defense, but not to run the bases yet. So Cowboy Kyle gets his second pinch running opportunity of the tour. First one was Monday night on NESN, where he ran from the booth down to the field, stole second, scored the inning-winning run on a D.R. Meadows walk-off, and then came right back up to the booth. 2-0 count on Noah Bridges, make it 2-1 on the Bananas right fielder in his first tour.
And when the Bananas celebrated that walk-off, mind you, Kyle Lewicks had the boys absolutely fired up.
He's out there running the bases in Crocs. Tell you what, I've actually picked up some pretty good sprint speeds myself in Crocs, so I think that plays.
He's got him in sport mode, I bet.
Correct. 2-2 coming now to the pride of Four Oaks, North Carolina. Noah Bridges comes to the Bananas after 5 years at UNC Wilmington. Pops this one up towards the fans, who have already caught 2 foul balls for outs tonight, and it will stay that way for now. Sean Fluke apoplectic that they can't steal an out for him.
Well, when the fans are catching balls in his favor so early on in the ball game, like we saw bottom 1, why wouldn't Fluke want to keep urging these fans to help him out a little bit?
Bridges, another former Cape Cod leaguer. He was a born Brave, just like the Nanners starter tonight, Ryan Kellogg, and that is a nasty bender from Sean Fluke to grab his second strikeout of the evening.
And that's Sean Fluke knowing the scouting report against Noah Bridges as he's tossing up some popcorn and eating that after the strikeout. Bridges really struggling with those pitches out on the outside part of the plate. That's exactly where Fluke was looking with 2 strikes on Bridges.
To the top of the order we go. Healthy hack from D.R. Meadows, who's behind a ball, and check that, no balls, 1 strike. David Ray bounced out to second base to begin the bottom of the first inning. Vidalia, Georgia native, the sweet onion capital of the world, puts a drive into this one. Hampton makes a really fine running catch. There were 2 sparklers last night for Reese Lightning when he was holding down left, both of them crashing into the Maine Monster. He just makes it look so easy out there.
You saw intelligence from Reese Hampton as he started to track that ball off the bat of DR Meadows. Didn't try and speed himself up too quickly there. Was able to camp under that. And Kyle Lewis, the starting pitcher, despite not pinch running very much this season, showed some good base running IQ, only going just about halfway and retreating once Reese camped under that ball and made the catch.
Now Michael Vitamin Deeb, an infield single his first time. Spits on the 12-6 curveball, has a 1-1 count. Deeb, just like the left fielder for the Party Animals, with 4 years of Power 5 conference football in his background. Well, Notre Dame not in a conference, but I would categorize them as a Power 5 level team.
How can you not?
It's Notre Dame. Come on now. Fighting Irish. That's how he started his collegiate athletic career, then played 2 years of baseball at Bethune-Cookman. Uh-oh, Skoll! Lost that one in the twilight. Tyler Gillum is going to give a stop sign to his 6-year pitcher. And Deeb has a very bizarre double here. He's 2 for 2.
Rarely do you see something like that happen to Jake Skoll, who has manned every outfield position on the tour for the Party Animals, and he started in center last night, which maybe it can be a little different under these lights, but lost it there in left field. And Kyle Lewis now at third base, Michael Deeb at second. Dan Oberst goes up the middle, and one pitch after that miscue from Jake Skoll. It's the Bananas walking off their second straight inning.
The 5-year Banana brings in the 6-year Banana. And the Nanners doubled their point total. They are up 2-0. Sean Fluke not able to pick up his defense. They put him in a sticky situation. And one of the best hitters on the tour, with the door left ajar, slams it home. The folks here in Hadlock Field going wild. It's been an insane first 3 innings. 6 still on the docket tonight. Two 2-0 lead in the all-important points category for the Bananas tonight as you look at the scoreboard attached to the Maine Monster in left field. Now, if you're wondering why there was no home run derby this evening to decide which team would be the home team, which is normally the case on night 2s here on this tour of Banana Ball, it is because you need a scissor lift to change the letters there in Party Animals and Bananas in that left field scoreboard, which would have been a whole lot of work. The grounds crew would not have enjoyed it happening at all, especially when the home run derby is usually around 6:40 p.m. It would have been a tight turnaround.
I call it one of the beautiful quirks of Hadlock Field.
Couldn't agree more. Ballpark was built in 1994. It has held the Portland Sea Dogs the whole time. At first, a AA affiliate of the then Florida Marlins, of course now Miami Marlins, and since the early 2000s, it's been the Red Sox AA affiliate. It has gotten Fenway Parkified since it has become a part of the Sox farm system as Vincent Chapman calls time, dusts off home plate, and performs an absolutely bizarre and mesmerizing dance for the good people here in Portland, Maine.
That was nothing but pure effort from Vincent Chapman, and look at him. Oh, is he stanky legging there? Oh!
Little bonus move for the people.
Look, I think we've got to compliment his vert tonight. I mean, This guy not exactly the tallest of stature, but boy, I think he could dunk a basketball on a child's rim there.
Yeah, hopefully they've got one of those in the Maine Celtics building off the right field line in foul territory. Off speed just misses the outside corner, so a 1-1 count on Tanner Tinder Thomas. The big beef for the Party Animals due up here in the top of the fourth, 3, 4, and 5. Bloomer on deck, Skoll in the hole. And now a 2-1 count on the Party Animals right fielder, who had a one-base sprint his first time, but was retired trying to make it 2 bases. So it helps the on-base percentage for anybody trying to keep track of these stats at home, but it did not help his team in the moment. That one lifted out to left center. D.R. Meadows turns on the burner. He's not going to get there in time. Tanner Thomas, after a 3-hit evening with a double and 2 triples last night, picks up a 2-bagger here to kick off the fourth.
Look, Tanner Thomas had 9 extra base hits coming into the month of July. Since that point, Tanner Thomas now has 9 doubles in that span, 3 triples, and 2 home runs. Really baffling that the Bananas outfield was shaded a little in, but of course they did have to factor for the sprint defense on a full count there against the Party Animals right fielder, excuse me.
And for everybody keeping track, carrying the one at home, that is 23 extra base hits on the season now for Tanner Thomas. Bryson Bloomer popped out to a fan his first time with Dalton Cornett on third base and 2 outs. That ended the top of the first inning. And a 1-2 count on the man holding down the hot corner for the boys in black and pink. That one popped right side. Eric Jones Jr. and Bill Leroy pursuing it. It's going to make the stands, and it is not caught. So another life for the pride of Lexington, Kentucky.
And that was what the Party Animals were hoping would happen there, as Bryson Bloomer, holding down this cleanup spot, continues to prove why the Party Animals roll him out there night in and night out. He has at least 1 run batted in 7 of his last 8 series for the Animals.
Trying to add to his tour-leading 50 stakes on the season, which, check that, he has 48. Tanner Thomas on second has 50, and the man on deck, Jake Skoll, also has 50. Bloomer could tie them with his second homer in as many nights. This one's not going to leave the park. Noah Bridges loses his hat. He's not going to be able to find the ball. He runs out of real estate, and still a 2-2 count.
We've got kind of a rather large foul territory as you go out towards right field. That one started to fade into that bullpen. And for Noah Bridges, who was probably playing shifted a little bit more for Bryson Bloomer to possibly pull there, just did not have the speed to make up the ground there and make the catch. But Ryan Kellogg on the very next pitch is going to blow a pitch right by Bloomer, and an emphatic strike 3 call and split from Vincent Chapman and catcher Bill Leroy.
The choreography is incredible, as per usual. Big first out there from Kellogg. Trackman had that fastball at 90 miles an hour. Gets his 3rd punch out of the evening, and a front door bender steals strike 1. A pair of 7-year minor leaguers facing off here. Skoll won the battle the first time with a worm burner through the right side that he turned into a hustle double. Jake Skoll actually in his 3rd World Tour and his 1st for the Party Animals. Tanner Thomas taking off for 3rd. The throw from Bill Leroy, not in time. Tanner now a spectacular 19 for 20 in his attempts at swiping bags.
Great jump from Tanner Thomas, but it was Bill Leroy who was ready and to pounce and throw that ball over to Thomas. And the Bananas seeing if they're going to try the challenge there. Bill Leroy wants it, but Jackson Olsen, who tried applying that tag there, did not try and signal for one, as now it's Skoll blasting this one out to right field, and that is going to get over the head of Noah Bridges. The Party Animals are going to tack on a run here in the top of the 4th.
Skoll's 2nd double of the night, 22nd of the tour, and it didn't matter if Mr. Thomas was on 2nd base or 3rd. He was scoring easily there as Skoll pulls 1 ribeye ahead of Tanner Thomas for now a tour leading 51, and the Party Animals have their first run of the night.
And after Jake Skoll batted .222 in the month of July, it really feels like he is back to his peak form. He's batting .318 here in August with now 8 runs batted in and 7 ball 4 sprints. We're seeing discipline and we're seeing good power, and the RBIs piling up for him again.
Yeah, Skoll now has sole possession of the tour lead in RBIs, triples with 6, and ball 4 sprints with 39. Ryan Kellogg gets rid of his hat on the bump as he eyes up Joe Lytle, who scoops that one and sends it into right. Skoll's going to score easily from second. Lytle hitting the accelerator and making it back-to-back doubles for the Party Animals. The OKC kid with his 40th stake on the season, and now 2 runs for the bad boys of Banana Land here in the top of the 4th.
And that's exactly what we were noting earlier in the ball game after Lytle struck out in his first at-bat. When this guy is able to put bat on ball, he is getting them to fall in, and this a productive hit for Joe Lytle.
Did not let Ryan Kellogg steal a strike with the front door bender. Now Jason Swan behind in a no-ball 1-strike hole. Flew out deep to right his first time. At about 330 feet out to right, where the wall was really closer to 335. Now an 0-2 count on the Party Animals first baseman. Kellogg doesn't waste any time, ties him up. Another 90-mile-an-hour piece of cheese, according to TrackMan, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, pretty confident plan of attack for Ryan Kellogg. They're facing Jason Swan. He gets the strikeout on the first baseman. Now can he get back-to-back strikeouts, and this one against the donut batter?
Just like Swan before him, Vava flew out to right his first time. Except there was a trick play executed by Noah Bridges when Vivacis was retired on the pop-out. Just like his starting pitcher, Vava, the pride of Hudson, Florida, down there in the St. Pete area. They both attended Pasco Hernando Community College, although Vivacis a couple years ahead of Fluky. And they coached together at Hudson High School. Vava, the head coach, obviously, as he is for the Party Animals. Fluke, his jubilant and jovial assistant.
It's the friendship you never knew you needed between a pitcher and catcher tandem.
Vava, after he played for the Party Animals in the One City World Tour in 2021, that was 2 games in Savannah, 2 games in Mobile, Alabama, as he checks his swing and Kellogg steals a strike on a bizarre foul ball. He called up his partner in crime, Sean Fluke, for the 2021 Breakfast Bowl, Bananas against the Macon Bacon, and said, hey, why don't you stop exterminating bugs for a little bit and come up to Savannah and play some baseball? 2-2. This one lifted left side of the field. Jackson Olsen makes the call. And right on the fair foul line, will make the catch.
I'll give you a grown-up.
Well, now we are in our 3rd tour for Vava, 2nd for Sean Fluke. And he will head back out on the mound, trying to secure the first point of the night for the Party Animals. Nanners will need 2 runs to tie the inning, 3 runs to win it. We'll see if the Exterminator can hold the door.
NESN's coverage of the Savannah Bananas is presented by Dunkin'. The Savannah Bananas run on Dunkin'.
It certainly takes a whole lot of Dunkin' to create this magical moment. It is Hey Baby O'Clock here in Banana Land for the weekend, which is Portland, Maine, the Forest City. And over 7,000 Bananiacs making up the 275th straight sold-out Bananas game, participating in the tradition that has been around for years.
I could be crazy, but I'm pretty sure the party animals might be running on Dunkin'.
They also might be running on Dunkin'. That's a fact. We'll find out if it's true. If they can keep the Bananas to one run or less here, I would say it's official. Meat of the order for Fluke. 4, 5, and 6 for the Nanners as Eric Jones Jr. on the first pitch bounces it to Bloomer. And the Nanners first baseman, who popped out in foul territory to a fan his first time, now 0 for 2.
Fouling out to a fan and now grounding out into a trick play as Bryson Bloomer just recorded his 31st of the season. And Sean Fluke starting his MPI mark very well, as he's got one pitch, one out, and he is the man who has recorded the third fastest inning of all time in Banana Ball at 1 minute and 14 seconds.
That was back in Akron, Ohio at the beginning of July. Quick 0-2 count now on Dakota McFadden, the extra hitter who popped out in foul territory. Not to a fan, though. Jason Swan was on the other end of that one. Nanners just looking to get a man on. Leroy and Cox on deck and in the hole. Don't have the pop. At least they don't have the consistent pop to tie the inning, but you never know with Bill Leroy, one of the twin princes of Banana Land, alongside his partner in crime, Cowboy Kyle Lewicks. A line drive single to left his first time, and he does have one homer. It walked off the third inning in San Jose. That was towards the end of July.
And with his former coach, Eric Burns, also in attendance for the Savannah Bananas. So we'll see if Bill, who has been swinging a hot bat since that mark, can continue to roll with his second hit here in the ballgame.
And it's a carbon copy of the first. He sends it right through the 6-hole. He now represents the potential inning tying run, and Ryan Cox, the shortstop, who has shown flashes of power throughout his two-tour Bananas career. The single his first time, still looking for his first long ball in 2023.
We've seen Bill adopt a leg kick, which has really served him well with his timing. But what's also come along with that leg kick is a little bit of a difference in where he is hitting balls when they're falling for hits, as he's become a much more pull-heavy hitter for the Bananas. But I think with the uptick in batting average for Leroy, the Bananas will take it.
And Bill is having an incredible August. Top 3 Nanner in OPS, which is on base percentage plus slugging. Now a 1-1 count on Coxie. And Leroy and Ryan Cox are pretty much carbon copy hitters. Cox at 287 with the batting average, 7 points higher than Leroy as he slices that one foul. But Bill actually 30 points higher in on base percentage. Cox 2 points higher in slugging. They each have 13 walk-offs. Bill is 10 for 10 on the tour in stolen base attempts. Cox is 8 for 8.
They're great disciplined hitters, and they're also really good defenders at that for the Bananas. And what you love from Bill Leroy as well, one of the 2 captains of this Banana squad, so much leadership from Bill all tour long.
Oh, right, and they both have 14 strikeouts, which is tied for the tour low with Dalton Cornett of the Party Animals. That is an ill-timed wild pitch from Sean Fluke. The double play no longer a possibility, at least not the traditional path to turning 2. And now the potential inning tying run moved up to scoring position.
But let's keep in mind, Sean Fluke still has 2 strikes here on Ryan Cox. A punch out would be huge, but Cox will spoil the breaker here from Fluke and score 1 as Tyler Gillum will hold up the Prince of Banana Land at third base.
Coxie 2 for 2 on the evening, grabs his 23rd ribeye of the tour. And now the Bananas walk-off king, who ended the second on his tour-leading 26th inning ender. It was a double laced down the left field line. As the potential inning tying run 90 feet away, the potential inning winning run across the diamond at first. And a 1-0 count on the Niners second baseman. Osley originally from Austin, Texas. When he was 5 years old, he moved to Vienna, Virginia. And spent all 5 years of his collegiate career in Virginia. A couple at Patrick and Henry Community College. 2 more at Norfolk State University. Finished up this past spring at George Mason. That is 2 springs ago, rather. The 2022 season. Clings that one off the Maine Celtics building, and a 2-1 count.
And the Bananas just had so much confidence in Danny Hosley, he didn't even try out for the team before this upcoming World Tour. They got word from his coach that this was a special player and a man they needed on their roster. And look at this! The Party Animals bail Sean Fluke out of the inning and claim a point as Chase Acuff juggles that ball, gets it to Dustin Baber, and they turn 2.
Sparkling twin killing for the bad boys of Bananaland, who looks like they've got an homage to Bill's Mafia here. Sean Fluke, their starting pitcher, climbing a ladder. And with some encouragement from the full capacity crowd, he drops his tuchus on the folding table and leaves it in irreparable damaged state. Okay, what a perfect segue to Mr. Jesse Cole, the owner of this here team, the reason why we are in New England with Banana Ball for the first time ever. And Jesse, now that we're at the tail end of this Northeast tour that's got us through New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Maine, how wild has it been for you?
It has been absolutely wild, but right now I'm just concerned. I hope Fluke is not hurt after that crazy jump into the table. A lot of times we have no idea what's going to happen in Bananaland. That was one example, but this tour has surprised us. The Northeast, I mean, this group, they know baseball, they understand Banana Ball, and they are so into it. And this Portland has been one of my favorite stops on the entire tour, I'll tell you that.
Well, Jesse, yeah, we might be a little biased here, but there has been something special for the fans here on this Northeast leg.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, we've, you know, it's great too when you see, Biko, these ballparks. We're learning what's great for Banana Ball, and the amount of foul balls that are coming here in Portland and these other stadiums, it's perfect for the fans. So, you know, we learn more every single ballpark we go to. That's why we went to 33 cities this year, and, you know, obviously we got some big announcements coming soon about the future. I'm going to try to see even more ballparks.
Well, speaking of that, this is our 29th stop on the tour, and as you look around Hadlock Field, you got the Maine Monster, the Coke bottle, the Citgo sign, all kinds of bells and whistles that make it an amazing homage to Fenway Park. Does that get you riled up for potential future Banana Ball stadiums?
Of course it does. You know, I was out in the plaza with all the fans getting emotional as so many people said, we want you at Fenway, we want you at Fenway, we want to see you at Fenway. And yeah, it means a lot. Obviously going to be a bat boy and getting to pitch at Fenway, but just because of the spirit and the fans and what they've been through around here and understand the game. So yeah, that's obviously a dream, and hopefully it'll come true soon.
Well, hopefully the great folks watching the second ever Banana Ball game on NESN are screaming it at their TVs as well. Jesse Cole, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Love you, Bigo.
Love you too, Jess. There goes the genius behind this whole circus that we call a sport. It is 9-10-1 for the Party Animals here in the top of the 5th inning. They've cut the Bananas lead in the all-important points category in half as they won the 4th inning 2-1. And Baber flew out to back-flipping DR Meadows his first time. Now with a 1-1 count as we welcome the 6-year Banana and a man who has already pinch run once in this game, Cowboy Kyle Lewigs, into the booth.
I was really hoping that you were going to lead or add with that. Cocks between the legs, smooth as silk. Yes, I'm officially uneligible for the remainder of this game. Going into it, I wasn't sure that I was eligible, obviously with my footwear. But, you know, whenever somebody goes down, another person steps up, and, you know, you kind of do your part, and then fun little trip around the bases later, and I'm up here with you guys.
You did throw them in sport mode, yes?
I stay in sport mode, Josh. You know, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Have you ever seen a cheetah stretch?
Nope. Doesn't have to.
Yep.
Same energy. I love it.
Reminds me a lot of myself.
Congratulations. Just going to shake your hand real quick. I will
Pacing
joyously log that run scored in the spreadsheet later.
Pacing pitchers on run scored now.
Correct.
Feel pretty good about that.
Really good work for you. Yeah, 2 pinch running opportunities, 2 runs scored now. That is the hammer of a curveball from Ryan Kellogg at 67 miles an hour, according to TrackMan. 1-2 count on Chase Acuff, who banged a double off the Maine monster his first time, but can't catch up to a fastball.
Bill was laying down that whole at bat, and he's going to turn over, do a little dirt angel, and then flick it over his head back to Kellogg.
And that's where that change of velocity for Ryan Kellogg is super effective. A guy who throws a low 90s fastball, but can also mix in that curveball at around 67 to 70 miles per hour. Such a huge difference for a batter. Chase Acuff behind on that fastball from Kellogg.
Yeah, and I think you're really starting to see Kellogg really get comfortable in his own skin, I guess you could say, out here. You know, all of us pitchers are kind of trying to find their niche or what they can do really well, trying to pick up, you know, a really cool 2-strikeout pitch. And I think the hockey stick into DR's backflip is probably one of my favorite plays on tour so far.
Mind melting from start to finish. 0-2 pitch is lifted 1,000 feet high, but it is not going to escape Hadlock Field as Michael Deeb calls off his center fielder. Will flip it to DR, and a very efficient top of the 5th inning for Ryan Kellogg.
And the fastest inning we've seen out of the night for either team, as Ryan Kellogg is able to get out of the 5th in 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
We'll be back with Cowboy Kyle after this. The Nanners just need 1 run to add a point to their total tonight.
Welcome back in. I'm Cowboy Kyle Lewis, and you're watching Banana Ball.
Here we are. That's Josh Talevsky. I'm Pico Scala. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday night with us in virtual Banana Land in our second ever Banana Ball game broadcast here on NESN.
I literally can't think of anywhere else I would be or want to be. And leading in with that is Jackson Olsen's going to lead it off in the bottom of the 5th for the Bananas. I've got to say, you know, this is game 76. Probably one of my favorite crowds. It feels like a crowd that's been to a lot of games, even though a lot of people haven't. It feels like that experienced crowd that's here to see some fun stuff, and their minds are melting every time they see something cool that we're doing.
How did it blow your mind at all that 2 fans were able to catch 2 foul balls for outs before the first inning ended?
No, I feel like this ballpark, especially, I mean, all the players really like it. It's got so much cool stuff, like you said, Biko, of everything in the outfield and everything going on with the homages to Fenway Park. But I feel like it's built for Banana Ball. I mean, it's got so many opportunities for foul balls, and I think it's going to continue at a pretty high pace for the rest of this game.
Jackson Olsen behind 1 and 2. Sean Fluke back out there. Boy, the grade 8 serves it out to deep right, but Tanner Thomas finally able to make the adjustment and grab that one for out number 1. Jackson had worked a 1-base sprint and then was pinch run for by Cowboy Kyle Lewis, who scored for him. Here's Jesse Cole.
Now coming to bat, the world's tallest hitter. Please welcome Dakota Stilts Albritton.
So Dakota Stilts Albritton will pinch hit for Noah Bridges here as the Nanners just need 1 run to win the 5th inning.
And I really like the way he's been swinging the stick lately. I feel like that mini green monster out and left really plays to his favor. I could see him bouncing one off there. Why not get it over there?
I was thinking the exact same thing. A 1-0 count. Fluke is going to throw down his glove, and oh my gosh, he's gonna undress. He's lost the jersey. All 7 party animals behind him have lost them as well. So have all the bad boys of Banana Land outside of their dugout, and now the pitch, a double clutch. And where did that one miss?
Stilts is going to match him in the box. I mean, I would definitely put him in the lightweight category if we're boxing here, but he's going to match him almost half pound for pound.
Might be a featherweight as he gets sawed off there. 2-1 count on Stilts, who is 7 for 21 on the tour, so he's hitting .333. And thanks to a hit by pitch and 3 sprints he's earned, his on-base percentage is .440. If he had enough plate appearances to register for a slash line in the league standings, he would have the second best OBP on the Bananas. Skies that one behind home plate. Mike Vivacis will make the catch as he nearly collides with his battery mate, and it's an exciting out number 2.
I mean, that's a beautiful scene. You see Mike Vivacis a little upset that Sean Fluke was hot on his tail there as he was making the catch. Eventually embrace his buddy as they combine for the out there against Dakota Stilts All-Britain.
To the top of the order we go. Fluke trying to trade 1, 2, 3 innings with Ryan Kellogg. And D.R. Meadows will line out to left. Kyle Lewis, you don't have to leave us yet because Michael D will be leading off the bottom of the 6th inning.
It's very good news to me. I didn't want to have to do a double pump and go down there and come back up, but
DR now 0 for 3 on the night with a pair of lineouts. Let's toss it down to Matt Gray for the young professor for a blindfolded pillow fight.
We're going to start with a little combat sports right here with a Banana Land blindfolded pillow fight. I've got 4 contestants. I've got Danny, Joe, Jared, and Jose. They're going to be blindfolded, and they are going to be fighting to see who is the ultimate pillow fight warrior. You will vote for who does it the best. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. You're in for a show, fellas. Let's blindfold up. Blindfolds on, blindfolds on. I'm going to spin you and disorient you. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, spin. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, go, fight. Here we go. There they go. They're swinging wildly, hoping for the best. Not me, not me. There's so much ferocity with those throws. Players are getting involved. They are ferocious with their swings and contact, and down he goes. Nick Kelty, you better watch out, man. With 5 more seconds, here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, it is time to vote. Blindfolds off. Come on over, guys. How did we feel about contestant number 1? Contestant number 2? Contestant number 3? And what about contestant number 4, Danny? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner. It's Danny.
The blindfolded pillow fight never disappoints. Never disappoints. I mean, it's just pure chaos.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen not only the party animals, but as well as your roaming cameraman just really in the midst of it in a big-time danger. I mean, they were one pillow away from, getting knocked in the noggin.
DJ Squints, a.k.a. Nick Kelty, our roaming cameraman tonight, nearly got his head taken off by a vicious right-handed pillow swing. DJ the Invader, the new man on the mound, and Dalton Cornett greets him with a line drive single to right. He is now 1 for 3 on the evening after a 3-hit ball game last night.
It's been an up and down season for DJ the Invader. He's back on a little bit of a hot streak for the Bananas, but overall the Party Animals are batting .362 against him on this year's tour. But he's very consistent about pounding the strike zone and works quick, which usually aids him, although the Party Animals jumping on him early in this outing.
Tanner Thomas with his second hit tonight. He is 2 for 2 with a double single and a 1-base sprint.
And you see a couple defensive shifts for the Bananas. We've got Stilts, the man that swung at last inning at first base. that moves Eric Jones over to second, and Danny Do-It-All is going to take over in right field, where he played a marvelous right field yesterday.
That one bounced to short between the legs. Oh, baby! Eric Jones Jr. fires it over to Stilts. A trick play for Ryan Cox, his second of the night, 125th of the tour. And it is a superb twin killing for the Nanners.
The transfer between the legs, an excellent move by Ryan Cox, and really didn't rob him of any time, as EJ had a perfect transition over to the throw to Dakota Stilts-Albritton at first base, who, unsurprisingly, has a pretty good stretch for a man that tall.
Yeah, pretty good length on the legs there. And my favorite part, the double play was great. But I don't know if you guys saw it off camera. Stilts threw it back to DJ and nailed him right in the chest. Because you just never know where that guy's looking.
Flare into center. DR Meadows goes full extension but can't grab it. Jake Skoll has his third hit in as many tries. He picks up his second RBI on the night to make it a tour-leading 52 in total. And the Party Animals, down 1 point in the ball game, now lead the sixth inning by a run. And a little pump up the jam and a dance circle to celebrate with first Bryson Bloomer. Now Jake Lialios getting in on the action, and Tanner Thomas will finish it up with some absolutely dynamite twerking. No, we're not done. Let's get Brandon Sherman involved in the action. The Long Island kid will finish it off with some fist pumping. How apropos.
He just incorporated the sprinkler, the Jersey Shore fist pump, and the church clap into one singular dance move, and not one of them were on beat. Talk about mind melting. I don't even know what to say anymore.
The quest to turn Brandon Sherman into a competent dancer has been legendary and fruitless.
Gonna have to wait until next tour, I think.
Correct.
He's going to spend the whole offseason practicing that church clap.
Yeah.
It's a tough one to master.
One day the Shermanator might solve it. There goes Skoll for second, and Ryan Cox between the legs, off his back foot, not to first in time. Looks like Lytle is going to beat it out anyhow, so he will grab his second hit of the night, an RBI double his last time up to the dish, and 2 men on for the Party Animals here.
That was a situation where Joe Lytle beat a little bit of a shift because you saw the runner taking off for second there, and Cox was going to cover the bag, then had to readjust to try and field that ball and get it on to Dakota Stilts-Albritton. Tried for the trick play, which you really love to see, but Joe Lytle, pretty good speed for a mostly primary catcher, able to get on first base there.
Now Jason Swan will fly out and strike out tonight. He's behind no balls at 2 strikes. We'll see which of the Invaders' weapons are chosen here on the 0-2. He could go 4-seam, 2-seam cut fastball, slider, or his best pitch, the changeup. Yanks a heater down and out, 1-2. Skoll leads off second, Lytle off of first. This one tapped and off of a sliding Eric Jones Jr. into right field. It will score Skoll. An incredibly bizarre double for Jason Swan as the Party Animals double their inning lead.
Yeah, that's a really tough play for Eric Jones Jr. trying to slide and make that play, but instead of it hitting his glove, it looked like it ricocheted off the kneecap of Jones Jr. and was the reason why Swan was able to get up to second base there as the run scored.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. That's a kneecap if I've ever seen one.
Went full Messi on that thing.
There's not a lot of meat on that bone either. That probably hurt a little bit.
It's a fact. Now the Invader looks 60 feet 6 inches past his helmet to see Mike Vivacis, the Party Animals player coach, with a fly out to right and pop out to third. Way ahead of that one, Christian Dearman, Mr. Electric, has to jump the foul ball. And the Invader 1 strike away from gifting a full capacity crowd on the 29th stop of our 33-city world tour with free donuts, courtesy of Dunkin'. It won't happen here. Vava laces that thing about 4/5 up the main monster and will slide into second with a 2-run double. And he'll scamper on over to third base on the E7. All of a sudden, a 4-run inning for the Party Animals here in the 6th.
And this is kind of like what we saw last night where the Party Animals put together 2 pretty big innings. But the beauty of Banana Ball is even though the Party Animals have scored 4 here in the 6th, if they win this inning, they will only claim 1 point and will still be tied at 2 points apiece in this game.
Boy, and that's one where the Maine monster giveth and the Maine monster taketh away. That thing was smashed. It looked like it was going to be Vava's second home run of the tour if there wasn't a 37-foot wall out and left.
It looked like a lot like a big slappy.
It could have been. Peter misses the outside corner. 1-2 count on Dustin Baber, who has flown out and grounded out. Both of those were trick plays. One by Meadows, one by Cox, and he laces that one straight into the mitt of our greatest showman, Jackson Olsen. And that staunches the bleeding, but a 4 spot for the Party Animals.
And I'll be right back.
See you later, Mr. Kyle Lewicks. He has to go help out Michael Deeb with his entrance to home plate as we honor the military members, both past and present, here in Hadlock Field. We pass that on to all of you who are watching on NESN. The Bananas lead 2 points to 1, but will need 4 runs to tie the 6th inning, 5 runs to win it. We'll see if they can mount an immaculate rally or if we will enter the 7th with a 2-2 ball game. NESN's coverage of the Savannah Bananas is brought to you by Dunkin', and as you can tell, the Savannah Bananas also run on Dunkin'.
Yeah, that's a jolt.
That'll
do.
That is a tasty treat. What'd you go for today, buddy?
I had a regular iced latte from Dunkin'.
I went Nutty Pumpkin.
How was it?
Just a crazy move by me. It's scrumptious.
Was it first time trying that?
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're about to head towards fall. The lights have just been turned off here in Hadlock Field. Let's see what kind of a snazzy walk up to the dish we are planning for Michael Vitamin Deeb. It's 2-3-4 for the Nanners here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They need 4 runs to win this frame. 5, check that, 4 to tie it, 5 runs to win it. And Mr. Deeb is having his Adele moment. A full capacity crowd, over 7,000 that make up the 275th straight sold out Nanners game, flashing their phone lights in the sky. And now for the big moment for the 3rd-year Banana. Hello from the other side, Josh. I might shed a tear up here in the booth. This is as powerful a moment as we've crafted across 75.5 games on this tour.
I mean, how cool is it to have the lights turned off in Hadlock Field and see all the phone flashlights go off to create that moment for Michael Deeb and the Bananas?
This beautiful ballpark was built in 1994. It's been the home of the Portland Sea Dogs the whole time, AA affiliate at first of the then Florida Marlins, now of course the Boston Red Sox for the majority of their existence. But the LED lights that you can turn on and off with the flick of a finger, that is a pretty new improvement here on the ballpark, as Zach Blankenship will be the new man on the mound for the Party Animals. That ends Sean Fluke's evening as he pitches through 5 frames. losing the second and third innings, although the third certainly should have been a 0-0 tie. Jake Skoll lost a fly ball from this man in the lights, and it ended up setting up a Dan Oberst walk-off a hitter later with 2 outs in the frame as Michael Deeb pops out to a fan for the second time on this northeast leg of the tour. And boy, oh boy, the fans in Portland have brought their A game tonight.
Unbelievable catch by that fan. Heartbreaking for Michael Deeb, swinging on the 3-0 count there. But the fan had no glove, and it was no problem for him. An unbelievable snag. We've tied a Banana Ball record.
Dan Oberst chops it to third. Bryson Bloomer goes between his legs. High throw, but a tag on the helmet from Jason Swan. An incredibly athletic play by the Party Animals first baseman for out number 2. Cowboy Kyle Lewigs, welcome back into the booth, my dear friend.
I'm trying to disguise my breathing and not breathe as hard as I am. I got a bit lost in the sauce with the lights off. I went up like 2 rows too far to the right and had to run through, and I caused a lot of commotion running through, giving fans high five. But I don't know how that walk up looked, from up here, but I was truly moved and taken to a different universe. Kind of lost myself in the song.
Looked magical.
I had to wipe away a tear from his eye.
Yeah, well, I mean, his tear ducts are pretty small, so it's either a fake tear or a real tear, but I was crying.
I'm just proud of him for showing some emotion.
Eric Jones Jr. skies that one towards the fans, who are one catch of a foul ball away from setting the Banana Ball record. Right now they are tied at 3 outs made by fans with Montgomery, Alabama, and Staten Island, New York. And Eric Jones Jr. was the second man tonight to foul out to a fan. He's 0 for 2. He also grounded out into a Bryson Bloomer trick play at third. So that is 2 on the night for the Boomer, 32 in 38 tries on the tour. Blankenship with a 3-1 to the dangerous EJ, who bounces it to Dustin Baber. He goes between his legs. He's got his second trick play of the night, and that is his 72nd of the season.
And wouldn't you know that, we have more Banana Ball history, as including Bananas, Party Animals, and Challenger Series games. We have now seen 500 total trick plays on our World Tour.
And what a way to finish up a 2-minute and 46-second frame for Zach Blankenship. Incredibly efficient in his first frame out of the pen. Party Animals have tied this game at 2 points apiece. As we head to the 7th inning, it is time to give away a free pair of Hokas. You want to scan the code that you are going to see on your screen on the TV. Fill in all your contact information, and then in the buzzword you want to put Larry. We will have a check-in on Larry Brock Lobster in the near future.
I completely forgot about that guy.
Correct. That's an ongoing saga going back to our game Wednesday night in Brockton, Massachusetts.
How many days did they say it was supposed to be until he gets of full size?
I believe it was 5 to 6 days. They didn't specify whether it was regular days or business days. So we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, Larry, who is a grow a lobster, is in fact doing what he was advertised to do.
Definitely, and I'm really excited to possibly see a teenage-aged Larry, as this man's name isn't Larry, but goodness, he is strutting his stuff.
Just another night at the ballpark.
He was made for that promo.
Kind of seems like a Larry to me.
Beautiful. He kind of really does look like a Larry.
Perfect time to shout out my grandpa Larry, a diehard Red Sox fan who doesn't miss a game on NESN.
And my favorite Larry, Larry Bird, because I don't have any in my family.
I also love Larry Bird.
I like Larry David.
Oh.
He's pretty good.
Curb your enthusiasm, Kyle.
I don't know what that's from.
That's okay. That's okay, Kyle.
I'm very uncultured when it comes to that. But the buzzword, nonetheless, is Larry with 2 R's and a Y at the end. For those out there that might smell it a different way. And we are just giving the 1 pair of Hokas away, correct?
Just one tonight.
Nothing crazy.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
How about that? Zach Phillips on his first offering tonight, drops down going sidearm. Comes to the Bananas after 4 years in the Kansas City Royals minor league system. He's a 27th round draft pick back in 2019 after a year at Ole Miss and 2 years of JUCO at Grayson Community College in his hometown of Texarkana, Texas.
And we've now seen Zach Phillips as in the starting role. We've seen him kind of mid-inning, long relief kind of guy, and then the guy that you want a quick inning or, you know, the back end kind of guy. And he's been having a lot of talks with Blankenship.
Ryan Cox from the hole cannot retire his counterpart. Chase Acuff, the shortstop for the Party Animals, already with a double tonight. Now adds a single to make him 2 for 3. And he sets up the top of the order nicely here to begin the top of the 7th.
Yeah, tough play there in the hole for Cox, but yeah, Phil's been talking a lot with Drew Gillespie about, you know, differing those arm angles. I feel like they really complement each other as late inning relievers, working from different arm angles, working really quick, very entertaining guys, and guys that you want on the mound in the bottom half or the bottom end of the game.
And we've seen the success come for Zach Phillips as well. He's thrown the 6th fastest inning in Banana Ball history this month, 1 minute and 21 seconds for the lefty.
He's now behind the best hitter on the tour, 2 balls and no strikes. Hampton 1 for 3. Single, strikeout, and flyout. Fouls that one straight back. Trackman had the fastball at 90 coming out of the left hand of Zach Phillips. Throws 4-seam, 2-seam cut fastballs and rounds out the arsenal with a curveball and changeup, which is another similarity to Drew Gillespie because it's the exact same arsenal, just from the other side.
Lefty, righty, pink and yellow.
Yin and yang, some would say. That one grazes the outside corner, and it is going to be 3-2. Hampton not looking back towards the mound, and the 4-year minor leaguer retires the 4-year minor leaguer.
And that's where you see Banana Ball IQ on display from Zach Phillips. Kyle, we've talked about how Zach is able to work quickly, and you saw him immediately get that ball back from Bill Leroy and come with that delivery as Reese Hampton was just caught looking unexpected from that pitch from Phillips.
Yeah, definitely something we've been working on. And, you know, pitchers, they've got, I think, I might be a little biased, but, you know, a pretty tough run of the mill and facing a lot of the same guys for a very hefty, long season. And I think that anytime you can incorporate the rules of Banana Ball to your favor, I think you should.
That one lifted out to left center. Michael Deeb covers a lot of ground to ascertain out number 2. Cornett now 1 for 4 on the night and will pass the baton to Tanner Thomas, who has a single and double, 2 for 2, and a 1-base sprint as well.
Kyle, when we talk pitching in Banana Ball, do you find it difficult at all to get the pitch back that quickly and try and come set with the pitch immediately and throw a strike?
Not too much. I feel like it goes back to, you know, I think pitchers can get very mechanical at times, and I think it goes back to putting yourself in a state of being a true athlete and kind of just figuring it out as you go. I've actually been working on one where I start my windup and catch it barehanded from Bill and go into the pitch that way. But we've tried to do it once, and Bill threw one off the line, off the mark, and I had kind of shut down my windup. But that's one that I'm hoping to incorporate before the end of the tour.
2-1 count now on Mr. Tanner Tinder Thomas. Just like Zach Blankenship, the new man out of the Party Animals bullpen. Tanner out of Fleming Island, Florida. 2 of them also played in the USPBL last summer. That one bounced up the middle. It's going to be backhanded by Hosley. Glove flip over the head of Ryan Cox. It was a tough play and looks like an infield single in my book.
What do you have, Josh?
Officially an infield single. Slow roller up the middle. Love the range from Danny Hosley, but the flip just a little too high for Ryan Cox. He is not on a pair of stilts.
So we go to the cleanup spot. Bryson Bloomer with 2 ducks on the pond and 2 outs. Takes the heater just a pinch inside. That one at 91 out of the hand of Zach Phillips. The Boomer having a tough night. He's fouled out to a fan, struck out, and bounced into a 6-4-3 trick play, double play.
Didn't have too tough of a night last night, though.
No, he did not.
He did. He punched out once.
It takes a big man to admit that, Kyle.
It's one of my best friends, man. And you know, you get a guy so many times on one pitch. It's a very proud moment to see him.
To see
make an
the baby bird fly out of the nest, huh?
I don't know if I'd call him a baby bird.
Bounces that one to Cox. The flip to second is in time. For those who weren't watching, Bloomer did not chase a Cowboy Kyle slider in the first pitch he got from him last night, and then on the second pitch, another slider. He sent it over the Maine monster and left.
Baseball giveth, baseball taketh away.
But then you struck him out the next time you faced each other. Heck of a job. You get a look at the quick pitch from Zach Phillips, stealing a strikeout, able to strand 2 party animals aboard. Inners need 1 run to win the inning. As the great folks of Vacation Land Cha-Cha slide their way into the bottom of the 7th inning, a reminder that you can enter in our contest for a free pair of Hokas by scanning the QR code in the bottom right part of your screen, and in the buzzword section, throw in Larry, L-A-R-R-Y, Larry.
Just Larry, no Larry, Brock, Lobster, just the Larry, as D-Mac is going to step foot in the box for the Bananas in the bottom 7th, just needing 1 run to walk it off here. And if he doesn't do it here, I'm going to put my yard card on Lil Baroy.
I love it. D-Mac 1 for 2 on the night. Scored a run in the 4th. And that one misses. So a 3-0 count. Brett Helton, the new man on the mound. The Colorado Springs native. Spent 3 years as a two-way man at the University of Utah out in Salt Lake City. And then was drafted in the 9th round back in 2015 by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Spent 4 years in their organization. The most recent 4 in the American Association, as he gives up a very rare sprint. D-Mac is going to pump the brakes at first base. Party Animals with good sprint defense. They had to get it to all 7 fielders behind the pitcher and catcher before the ball is live. And the potential inning-winning run aboard. Immediately, Malachi Mitchell will pinch run for his fellow third-year Banana.
And you say surprising ball 4 sprint there from Brett Helton, who has successfully inserted himself, I want to say, into the starting rotation of the Party Animals, but pretty much anywhere in this Party Animals bullpen, closing situations, starting a game, he's made it very clear that he's maintaining his body and he's healthy enough to want to pitch in every game. While it may not be realistic, he is very adamant in putting the ball in his hands and says that he can do it.
And what's remarkable is he is pitching in this game after throwing 99 pitches in Brockton, Massachusetts on Wednesday, and still getting the opportunity to come into this game for the Party Animals and try and lead them to a victory.
He's ahead of Bill Leroy. A ball and 2 strikes. Helton throws fastball, cutter, changeup, curveball. Low 90s with the heat. Low 80s with the changeup and curve. And there is the curveball used to perfection. A very rare strikeout for the 6-year Banana, who's now 2 for 3 on the night. That's only his 15th K on the tour.
We're seeing pretty untraditional outcomes here for Brett Helton, as this is a guy who is usually trying to pitch to contact against the Bananas to keep his minutes per inning marks low. But a ball 4 sprint and a strikeout early. Now, what are we going to see against Ryan Cox?
Yeah, I think that was the old broadcaster slash teammate slash best friend slash battery mate slash partner in crime jinx that I put on my friend Lil Baroy.
Slash Dirty Dancing tandem.
Yeah, that is true. As Dan actually was the one that hoisted me up into the air. I thought he was going to send me into the Lord of Good and Plenty since he's so strong last night, as Bill's rehabbing a bit of a wrist injury. I shouldn't say injury. Wrist boo-boo.
He's hurt, not injured.
Yeah. Maintenance, you know. Wear and tear.
Dinged up.
That one's spoiled by Ryan Cox. Another reminder that your buzzword tonight to enter in the contest for a free pair of Hokas, courtesy of our dear pals over at Zappos, is Larry. Your buzzword tonight is Larry. 1-2 to Coxie, who's 2 for 2, a pair of singles and a run driven in, and he fouls the heater back. By the way, Malachi Mitchell not at first base. I swore I saw him pinch running for Dakota McFadden, but it's still the big fella, all 6'3", 225 pounds of him, who is now doubled off of first. Scorcher off the bat of Ryan Cox. And it is a 4-3 double play to get Helton out of the inning.
Yeah, a base running blunder by Dakota McFadden at first base. Did not see that one off the bat of Ryan Cox very well, and it was Baver with good IQ to throw that one over to Swan right there on the bag and get that double play. Brett Helton getting out of that inning in 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Nothing new for the Greek god of MPI. He does the job with a 74-mile-an-hour curveball that TrackMan had leaving Ryan's bat at 94. It is still a 2-2 ball game as we head to the 8th with 16 and a half minutes on our clock. Let's check in on Larry Brock Lobster, who, boy, oh boy, has made
massive.
a whole lot of progress.
Oh my God. Pico, look at this fella. Pico, look at him. Just look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
Easy there, big guy.
He's a nice, look at him. That's the same Larry that you knew before.
Easy.
That's the same, look, he's even,
Pico,
he's just got
shake
little,
his hand, come
yeah,
on.
Give him a,
You can do it.
Yeah, there you go.
I actually cooked 2 of
There
these
you
puppies
go.
in Maine last year.
Wow.
Holy
See, he's
cow.
not so bad.
I don't
Boy,
love the smell.
Larry has
That's the same old Larry that you knew
huge.
before.
Yeah, I'm sure this
Yeah.
isn't. This isn't Larry. That's Larry.
That's Larry's
definitely
child.
Larry.
That's Larry Jr. Yeah.
Yeah.
He procreated in there by himself.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're not quaint of the, you don't like the smell?
I don't love
What
the
about-
smell. I don't love whatever kind of lobster cheese is coming out of his legs right there.
Something's goozing.
What is oozing out of this creature?
I just said goozing.
That's because it's goo oozing out.
Look at that. You got your paws on him. You're friends with him.
I don't love it.
For those at home, if you want to get a better look at our new pet, Larry.
Right. Larry the Brock Lobster.
Yes, literally. You took one of those down the other night. We had a lobster roll at Luke's.
I've had lobster 3 straight days. I'm in Portland, Maine.
That's win in Rome, you know.
Yeah. Sorry,
That's
Mom.
really
I know
good
it's not
stuff.
kosher, but it's delicious.
It's really good stuff. How do you feel about Larry and his progress?
I love him. I'm over the moon about him. He's grown so big, so fast, and I mean, you just chalk it up to a good diet.
I mean, he's ready to set up a 401k and get fully
dude.
retired, you know.
Kyle, he wants a Roth IRA.
Excuse me, Larry, I didn't mean to speak for you.
I mean, come on.
I mean, I thought we were going to see maybe Permit Larry that just got behind the wheel with one of his parents in the car, but we're seeing full-fledged retirement.
Yeah. Life has gone by quick for our darling lobster that we only plopped in his ecosystem 3 days ago in Brockton, Mass. It's going to be 5, 6, 7. For the party animals here in the top of the 8th, we have an incredible banana ball game with 2 innings left on the docket. If we can get through this 8th inning in the 14 minutes plus that we have left on our 2-hour timer, Matt Malatesta, the splitter specialist, a fellow Coastal Plain League champion in 2021, alongside our broadcast partner, Cowboy Kyle Lewicks.
You're a champion too, man. Don't sell yourself short.
I did get a ring.
Broadcasted every one of those games.
I sent that ring to the Baseball Hall of Fame. It is currently on loan. Just signed the agreement the other week. That one hit a mile high into shallow left center. Meadows will take command over Deeb and Cox. And Skoll retired for the first time tonight. He is now 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and 2 runs driven in.
And Matt Malatesta's story, pretty interesting on this 2023 World Tour. A man who struggled early on with the feel and command of the banana ball, but has since dialed it in, being able to throw much more consistent strikes. Now finds himself an above-average tour pitcher and opponents batting just .233 against him. So when Malatesta is finding the zone, opponents having a hard time getting consistent hits against him.
And he supplements the splitter that he lives and dies on with a fastball, which you saw right there, that foul ball not caught by a fan, as well as a forkball and slider with a changeup from time to time. A pretty bizarre arsenal.
Josh, you hit the nail on the head, my friend. You took the words out of my mouth. It's been really fun to continue to watch Matt. You know, I've played with him for going on 3 years now. Continue to work on perfecting his craft and figuring out a good way to throw that splitter and fork ball with these new banana balls. And he's really, you know, put himself in a good spot to be, you know, one of the strong back-end guys for the Bananas here.
Yeah, he's really become that key setup guy for the Bananas before they throw out Danny Hosley in the 9th inning. But even on those days where Hosley not able to pitch, Malatesta's come in as that second-in-command closer.
And he rubs the banana ball on the ground, mocking Sean Fluke, who did that earlier tonight, who was mocking Matt Malatesta. And it will be a trick play. Eric Jones Jr. squeezes it between the legs at the last second, his 13th trick play in 16 attempts on the season.
He loves going for that trick play, man. I mean, it scares the lights out of me every time because, you know, me as a pitcher, I know I don't normally get over there ever so often, and it's a long run for me. But Matty with a quick 2 outs here, and I wanted to piggyback on your segue earlier, Josh, that I feel like we didn't touch on enough. 500 combined trick plays. And that was another one that we had right there. I feel like that's insane.
And wouldn't you know it, but for Eric Jones Jr., he has already reached his high in a single month. That was the 6th trick play for EJ here in August.
If you guys had to guess, pre-tour in between challenger teams, which we didn't think would have a heavy weight, which we were pleasantly surprised by, and then the Bananas and the Party Animals, did you have a guesstimate for how many trick plays you thought you would see on this 2023 Banana Ball World Tour?
Tell you what, I didn't think we were going to get 500, and that would have been on the totality of the 87-game World Tour. You're currently watching game 76, and we're already past half 1,000. Jason Swan will slow down and make an about face back to first. Great sprint defense by the Bananas. And as the Party Animals first baseman, an RBI double his last time, is on first with 2 down.
And a great scoop by Ryan Cox there too. It was Bill Roy bouncing that one in the dirt before the sprint defense ensued, and Coxie able to get the scoop in the glove there, was able to prevent a disaster from happening there for the Banana sprint defense and keep Swan at first.
A trick play for Jackson Olsen. He finishes it with the chuck across the diamond. That is his 16th on the tour. And Matt Malatesta with a successful top of the 8th.
And he'll limbo it off, and yeah, I think it was great. I think in our chat earlier before the game today, Jesse said that we were lucky, or he would be happy with us getting to 200.
And we're past 500 trick plays. The Nanners can take the lead in the all-important points category with just 1 run in the bottom of the 8th. We'll see if they can do it after this. Larry Brock Lobster welcomes us back into Banana Land. We are tied at 2 points apiece as the full capacity crowd here in Hadlock Field belting out yellow. Jesse Cole, how does that make you feel, man?
We love you so much, Banana Nation. Now let's go, Bananas!
Can do, boss.
And another nail biter here nodded at 2-2, which I'm assuming in his mid-game interview, Jesse did predict that it would come down to the last inning. And I don't know about you guys, but I just got to say, seeing Larry Brock, you know, bring us back up into the booth, I feel as if, you know, I feel like I'm a proud parent. I mean, I didn't do much in his upbringing. I was there for whenever, you know, he was not essentially created, but he was given the powers to become a young, successful old man at this point, and it's something beautiful to see.
You never even got to see him go off to his first homecoming dance, did you?
There's so many firsts we missed, I feel like.
We do our best here in Banana Land to give our kids enough time here.
I was so interested to see and hear where you were going to go with that.
Kind of started thinking about the game again and lost my train of thought, to be honest.
Well, one day he'll be probably soon, based on the stuff oozing out of the side of his leg. He's probably going to be his first lobster roll soon.
Vinny DeRubius with a healthy hack and a miss at the first pitch curveball from Brett Helton, who is out for his second inning of work. And now a 1-1 count. Mr. DeRubius in limited action has been very effective for the Nanners. On a bit of a slump here in the Northeast, in pride of Trumbull, Connecticut. 0 for his last 5. And now with a 1-2 count, does that look like a right-on-right changeup, and it was a doozy.
But this is the right situation to bring Vinny into a ball game, as he is 6 for 14 in the 8th inning. Now make it 6 for 15.
We're up here jinxing up a storm.
I'm aware.
Second strikeout for Brett Helton.
But if the law of Dakota McFadden has anything to say about it, I know for a fact there are 4 members of Jackson Olsen. Nope.
Another Connecticut kid, and it looked like Brett Helton had done the job on him. That is a former junior college Gold Glover in Dustin Baber, who, when he was at Daytona State, was one of the best fielders in the country. Took home his Gold Glove in 2018. Normally sure-handed. That's only his 11th error on the tour. Malachi Mitchell will pinch run for Jackson Olsen.
And the Songbird's going to hit here with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th, who's been swinging a very hot stick as of late.
And Malachi Mitchell will pinch run for the second time tonight. The automatic runner for the Nanners can pinch run once every time through the order.
And if he can't run, I shall run in any footwear I'm wearing at the moment.
Delayed break there for Malachi, who steals his second base of the evening and his 69th on the tour.
It's a nice, respectable mark.
Now 69 for 75. Can't complain with that. Potential inning-winning run in scoring position. That one scrapes the top of the zone, and a 2-2 count on Dalton Malden, the songbird of our generation. Big pinch hit spot for him. He cranks that one foul into the Party Animals bullpen. Flash the Kid leads off second. And that is a front door bender for strike 3. Dalton didn't love the call from Vincent Chapman. But unfortunately for the Nanners, Mr. Malden doesn't have the final say.
Dalton's usually a pretty cool, calm, and collected ball player, but you saw him kind of hit that bat at the called strike 3 there. That's got to be really frustrating when you're brought into pinch hit, as now D.R. Meadows skies this first pitch into right field, and Tanner Thomas will come down with it. We've still got a tie ball game after 8 innings in this one.
Here is the young professor to prepare us for the 9th.
Into the top of the 9th inning, we have a tie game. Each team, the Party Animals and the Bananas, have 2 points apiece. But here's the thing about the game of banana ball. In the final inning, every run counts for a point. That means whatever runs get scored add to their overall total. It's tied right now, but anything can happen. So make some noise, Portland, Maine, and welcome to the final inning!
Well, we got through 8 innings in about an hour and 56 minutes, which means the 2-hour timer no longer holds any sway. We're in our 9th and final frame. Every run that is scored here counts as a point, but that really doesn't matter since we enter our final inning tied at 2 points apiece. And the Bananas are going to go to the best pitcher in our young sport. It is Danny Hosley, who played the first 8 innings of this ball game at second base and has Danny Do-It-All has been known to do, he will now be out here in the biggest inning of the night.
Well, that's why you saw Vincent DeRubius come in and pinch hit in Hosley's spot so he could get warm and come into this ball game. And Hosley with an ERA plus on the season above 240, making him 2 times more effective than the tour average pitcher on the tour. And opponents are batting 183 against him this season. He really can do it all, mixes 3 good pitches, a fastball, changeup, and curveball. And for Hosley, he has been a big reason why the Party Animals come into the ninth inning batting just 206 overall.
It is by far their worst inning as far as batting average goes. As you saw a few moments ago, Jake Lialios letting the folks down the first base line know that we're heading to our final inning. And as you can tell by the absence of the soothing voice of Cowboy Kyle Lewis, he is doing the same on the other side of the diamond. He sprinted down there and is shirtless and shaking that final inning sign for the good people here in Portland, Maine.
An unfortunate Irish goodbye, eh?
Yeah, it's a fact. Here's the Party Animals resident Irishman, Dustin Baber. Gets a heater from Hosley blown by him. Trackman had that one at 91 miles an hour. It's a 3-pitch mix, fastball, changeup, 12-6 curveball. And so far, a pair of heaters to grab 2 strikes for Haas.
And I would be surprised if Danny Hosley went back to the well one more time and went fastball, already ahead 2 strikes. I think this is where you try and go off speed, maybe get Baber to chase.
Ends up going with the 12-6 curveball. Trackman had it at 76. It is 9-10-1 for the Party Animals here. Acuff on deck, Reese Hampton in the hole. That ball cranked but foul. And reminiscent of a booming single that Dustin Baber had off of the Blue Monster in Durham, North Carolina, off Hosley in the 9th inning over a month ago.
And I think if there's any consolation for Baber, although he's had pretty tough splits against Danny Hosley, he's got to feel good maybe having another opportunity to hit one hard off that mini monster here in Hadlock Field and get on base for the Party Animals to start the 9th.
The pride of Babson Park, Florida, ready for a 2-2. And he cuts and misses. There is the devastating right-on-right changeup. And Bill Leroy will roll the ball down the first base line to put an exclamation point on out number 1 here in the top of the 9th. So Baber 0 for 4. And the strikeout to an evening in which he has lined out, ground out, and flied out. Full evening for Baber, just nothing to show for it. And now Chase Acuff falls victim to that changeup that Danny throws so well righty to righty. Acuff 2 for 3. A single and a double with a strikeout sandwiched in between. And he's behind 0-2.
And he is still hitless in the 9th inning on this year's World Tour. 0 for 11 on the season.
And the biggest reason for that, the man 60 feet and 6 inches away from him on the mound. 90-mile-an-hour fastball misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Acuff, the hardest man to strike out in 2018 in Division II baseball when he was at Eckerd. He punches that one to Hosley, who goes between the legs. 20th trick play on the tour for Danny Do-It-All, and he's got 2 outs here in the 9th.
And he can add another position to now where he's been able to make trick plays for the Bananas. We've seen it at second, we've seen it at third, we've seen it in left and right field, and now we've seen it come on the mound for the righty.
And now a matchup that we have seen so often recently. The best pitcher on the tour in Danny Hosley against the best hitter on the tour in Reese Hampton. Last time they faced off, Reese hit the first ever out-of-the-park home run to walk-off showdowns. And he survives a pop-up into the stands here. 1 for 4 on the night is Reese. We've already had 3 foul balls caught by fans tonight, tying a banana ball record. Hampton able to spit on the changeup. 1-1 now.
And it's going to be incredibly interesting to see how Hosley goes about this at-bat against Reese Hampton. When these guys faced off in Brockton, Massachusetts in showdowns, Hosley got ahead of Hampton 0-2, then hung a 12-6 curveball that Hampton blasted out of the park for the first home run to leave the yard in showdowns that won the ball game for the Party Animals.
Deuce is wild. Big pitch coming from Hosley. He gets the strikeout. Goes with the heater at 90 miles an hour, and here's the young professor.
Lee holds off the Party Animals with no runs scored at the top of the ninth. That means as we head into the bottom of the ninth, it is the opportunity for your Savannah Bananas to score just one run to walk off this game and win the whole state of Maine. If we are tied at the end of this inning, it will force a showdown tiebreaker. Regardless of which way it goes, it's about to get nuts here in Portland, Maine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is
You couldn't script a better three guys to have up here in the bottom of the ninth inning if you're the Nanners. It's 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Michael Deeb, who walked off last night's game with a double to take the first of the two contests here in Maine. He will lead it off. And then Dan Oberst behind him, Eric Jones Jr. due up third. And they're going to have to do it against the best reliever on the tour for the Party Animals, albeit in a limited sample size. But Drew Gillespie has been a godsend for the boys in black and pink.
And the reason the Party Animals will take Brett Helton out of the game and throw Drew Gillespie into this situation is because the three men you just listed for the Bananas are a combined 3 for 17 against him on the tour. And opponents batting just .231 overall against him. Now, Gillespie was handed the loss last night as he came in the 8th inning and was not able to start a Bananas rally that won the game for them in 8 innings. Here, he's going to try and get back in his groove, and he'll do that by working quickly, trying to make those batters uncomfortable, and by doing it by throwing a good mix of pitches from different arm angles.
Yeah, about 80% of his pitches will be from 3/4. And then he'll throw some over the top, some sidearm. It's 2-seam, 4-seam cut fastballs, a changeup and curveball. As we mentioned earlier, it's the exact same arsenal that the Bananas lefty Zach Phillips employs. It's just from the other arm. Michael Deeb 2 for 3 tonight. A single, a double, and a foul out to a fin in his last trip to the dish.
And Michael Deeb is surely coming into this plate appearance against Drew Gillespie very confident in what he can do here as Gillespie's going to steal that strike. It was Deeb who was the walk-off hero against Gillespie in that 8th, driving one out to deep left center and off that Maine monster that won the ball game for the Bananas.
Backdoor curve just misses. 2-1 now coming to the third-year Banana. And Deeb watches it drift below the zone. 3-1 count.
And keep in mind that if Michael Deeb is able to reach base in any capacity here with the lineup flipped over and we're us back at the top of the order, as Deeb draws the ball 4 sprint, we will likely see the Bananas insert Malachi Mitchell in at first base. And there he goes. Michael Deeb taking off the base pass, the designated runner and the fastest man in Banana Land on at first.
The Bananas 1 run away here in the bottom of the 9th inning from taking the great state of Maine 2-0. The Party Animals need 3 outs to send this thing to tiebreaker showdowns and get a chance to split vacation land. Oh no! Bryson Bloomer not able to handle a tough hop with the speedy Dan Oberst barreling down the first baseline, who was 1 for 3. His 1 hit walking off the 3rd inning, and now the game-winning run in scoring position.
And that was a pretty slow roller off the bat. Dan Oberst, a very fast runner, has over 30 stolen bases this season for the Bananas. That's going to go down as a hit for Oberst.
Eric Jones Jr. cues it up the first baseline. Gillespie grabs it, throws to first. Jason Swan not able to keep his foot on the bag. in E1 at the worst time possible, and still with no outs. Now the game-winning run 90 feet away for Dakota McFadden.
And the Party Animals have elected to use their challenge. They only have it left before we go to a possible showdown. This is the right situation for the Party Animals to try and get this call overturned.
Could not agree more. There will be a smattering of boos from the full capacity crowd here in Hadlock Field as Zach Frangelo and Vincent Chapman throw on their Riedel headsets. And our incredible folks okay, they're challenging that this was a foul ball. I don't think this has got a chance at being overturned. Okay, they're saying it hit Eric Jones Jr.'s foot in the box. Folks in the control room giving us the best angle possible here. They're down in Savannah, Georgia. Still looks like a fair ball to us. Five seconds left on the challenge.
This call's gonna stand.
The fans delighted to hear that is still a fair ball, as are the umpires. Reggie Liggins, John Byrne, and Vincent Chapman will celebrate. And the bases are juiced with no outs for Dakota McFadden, whose 23 walk-offs are second only to Danny Hosley on this tour.
And Dakota McFadden has been incredibly solid when batting with runners in scoring position. A 292 mark on the tour, and the Party Animals infield will shift in. If anything on the ground goes to them, they will be sure firing at home here to try and nail Malachi Mitchell and at least get the force out.
Nasty curveball for strike one. A little hesitation on the second offering. That one is tapped foul. And a quick 0-2 count to D-Mac. He was the first player selected for the Bananas team on the One City World Tour back in 2021.
And how about this? It's also Reese Hampton who has shaded in and become the sixth infielder for the Party, or the fifth infielder for the Party Animals, ranging in from center field to make sure they can try and nail this guy at the plate.
0-2. Called strike three, a 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Gillespie to get a huge first out here in the bottom of the ninth.
That is a massive punch out. You can see the Party Animals dugout fired up after that, and that's a pitch that was extremely close for Dakota McFadden. Really surprised that a hitter as good as him decided to take that pitch and not protect.
The Pine Tree State is on the line, and the baton is passed to Bill Leroy. 2 for 3 with a pair of line drive singles into left tonight. And he does not take a hack at the first pitch curveball, blocked excellently by Mike Vivacis. The captain of the Bananas, Bill Leroy, in his 6th campaign, second as a pro. The man who walked off the first ever game played in kilts back in 2018. The bases were loaded then. And Gillespie gets a strike to even the count at a ball and a strike.
And this is not going to be an easy at-bat for Drew Gillespie. Bill, a very pesky batter, as his OBP is nearly 100 points higher than his batting average. But Gillespie working well and getting ahead in the count now, 1-2 on Leroy.
This one bounced to second. Baber flips to Acuff. Throw to first. Oh, it's wide! And the Bananas walk it off and win the incredible state of Maine 2-0.
What an unbelievable finish. It's Dustin Baber wisely getting that flip onto Chase Acuff. But the throw, a little rushed there from Acuff over to Jason Swan. And it's the Bananas who will walk off and take Maine.
Gut-wrenching finish for the Party Animals, who are scattered all over the field. Brett Hilton down on a knee. The normally sure-handed shortstop Chase Acuff just needed a 90-foot throw over to Swanee at first, but he makes the second Party Animals error of the bottom of the ninth. and they gift the Bananas the Pine Tree State. Here's Bill Leroy to celebrate.
Ladies and gentlemen, get those hands together one last time. To celebrate a Bananas win on the mound, myself, Bill Leroy. Up next, we have our wonderful coaches, Coach Adam Byron, Coach Tyler Gillum. And our amazing entertainers, fastest man in Banana Ball, Malachi Flash Kid Mitchell. Our bad trickster, Alex Ziegler. The tallest man in sports, Dakota Stilt Albritton. And last but not least, our dancing first base coach, Maceo. And we have our pitchers and reserves. Starting pitcher, Ryan Kellogg, Christian Dearman, DJ the Invader, Cowboy Collowigs, Matt Malatesta, Connor Higgins, Zach Bills, Nolan Daniel, and Jared Donaldson. Holding down the first base position, my dear friend, number 3, Eric Jones. You know him, you love him. Savannah Bananas, heartthrob, number 9, Noah Bridges. The slugger, coming up with the legend, Reginald Horan. Number 19, Danny Oberst. Closing out the last inning, number 18, the YMCA man, Danny Hosley. Our trick shortstop and our glove magician, number 6, Mr. Ryan Cox. The doctor with barrels tonight and backflips in center field, number 5, DR Meadows. Coming up singing his new single, How'd You Keep Her? Check it out on Spotify. Number 13, Dalton Malden. The Italian Stallion making his way to the mound. Number 41, Vinny DeRubius. He's coming up beating his chest. Catching barrels tonight, number 24, Dakota McFadden. The man with all the grooves, the barrel man, number 7, Michael Vitamin D. Last but not least, our social media star and greatest showman, number 8, Jackson Olsen. Fans, let's hear it one more time for your Savannah Bananas! Portland, Maine, you were absolutely amazing. The great finishing leg for our Northeast tour. We love you guys so much. The party is not done yet. Every player, every cast member will be outside in front to meet you guys and to thank you so much for all your support. Banana Nation, we love you. We'll see you soon.
Well, what a wild finish to the northernmost stop on this 2023 Banana Ball World Tour loved by Zappos. Alongside Josh Talevsky, I am Biko Scala. Boy, oh boy, what a heartbreaking finish for the Party Animals as the Nanners, as clutch as they come in the 9th inning, but boy, they were aided by a couple miscues from the bad boys of Bananaland.
Look, we saw a great pitcher's duel tonight, and outside of DJ the Invader, who pitched the 6th for the Bananas until the 9th, no relievers allowed a run in the ball game. So we start love to see the bullpens holding down the fort for both squads, but the Bananas entered tonight batting .340 in the 9th inning on the tour, and they started the ninth with a ball four sprint and a single, and then were able to cash in on those defensive miscues for the Party Animals. That's why they've continued to jump out to this lead against the Party Animals in the season series.
Boy, what a scrappy inning for the Nanners, who, as you mentioned, go ball four sprint, infield single, a batter reaches on an E1, and then Bill Leroy does what Bill Leroy does, just as he did in the first ever Kilts game back in 2018. With the bases loaded, he puts the ball on the ground. He does not strike out, and although it looked like the Party Animals were on the precipice of a 4-6-3 double play, the throw from Chase Acuff wide, and all of a sudden Mr. Leroy has his 14th walk-off of the season.
Yeah, and the Bananas are going to be really happy with it. They claim yet another state on the season, and for the Party Animals, they are now in pretty dire straits as they will have to win the next couple of states to try and take back this series against the Bananas before the tour ends.
This is the largest deficit the Party Animals have seen since we kicked this World Tour off all the way back on February 17th in West Palm Beach. The Bananas now have Connecticut, North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, California, Alabama, New Jersey with an asterisk because they beat the Trenton Thunder, and Maine. No asterisks on that. That is opposed to, that is now 7 cities states rather, that the Party Animals have lost to the Bananas, and the Party Animals have Texas, Oklahoma, Ohio, Massachusetts, and Georgia. So they are 2 states behind now, with only 3 states left. We will venture to Wisconsin, we will finish up in New York, and we will also be out in Des Moines, Iowa next weekend.
And if it isn't already punishment enough, the Party Animals do trail the Bananas by 1 game when it comes to deciding New York, as the Bananas claimed Staten Island against the Party Animals in the 2nd game in that stadium.
That's right. It is coming down to the wire here in the World Tour, and the Nanners are rounding into true form when it matters the most. Thank you all so much for spending the last 4 games with us here on NESN and NESN 360, as well as YouTube. We will be back on YouTube next Friday night in Des Moines, Iowa. It'll be an absolute blast. But before we shut this thing down on the 2nd and final NESN broadcast here in 2023, we have a pair of Hokas to give away. Drum roll, please, Josh. Our Hoka winner tonight is Colin Davis. Colin, congratulations on your free pair of Hokas, and congratulations on ascertaining them. Now, for our entire casted crew here, we have some shout-outs before we shut it down. Thank you to Kyle Lewigs for joining us in the booth, Sean Fluke for slapping a mic on him down on the field, and Mr. Jesse Cole for doing the same in between innings. Thank you to the executive producers of BTV, Jared Orton, Emily Carey, and, of course, the aforementioned Jesse Cole. Our director down in Savannah, Georgia, Griffin Ellis, and our incredible control room. You are superstars down there. And thank you to our associate producer, Chris Haynes, our coordinating producer, Mr. Chad Reese, and Josh Tolevsky, our color commentator, for running the show, and the rest of our incredible team here in Maine.
Biko, you did a great job on the play-by-play. I think the only thing we've got left tonight is to make sure our buddy Larry just gets to live the rest of his life.
Correct. We got to take care of Larry Brock Lobster. Maybe throw him into the Atlantic Ocean so he can rejoin his family. I am Biko Scala saying so long for now. The Nanners win a thrilling game, 3-2 with a 9th inning walk-off thanks to the 6th-year Nanner Bill Leroy, and they are now up 7 games on the tour and have won 7 states over the Party Animals compared to 5 for them. We will see you next Friday night in Des Moines, Iowa on YouTube, on the Bananas YouTube. It is going to be exciting to be in the capital of the Hawkeye State. Of course, we'll see you then, and we will also see you later!